So we are doing the Vak Sukta. In the Vak Sukta, we have to take up the fifth mantra. The fifth mantra goes like this. Vagaksharam prathamaja Vedanam matamritasya nabhihi svano jushanopayagnamagat avanti devi suhavame astu. So that is the mantra of study now. So the meaning, first I'll give the meaning. 4 lines are there. So the first line is Vagaksharam Prathamaja Rutasya. So this will become Rutasya Prathamaja Aksharam Vak. Rutasya of Ruta. Ruta is a technical term. So of Ruta, the Prathamaja, Prathama means first, Ja means born. The first born of Ruta is the imperishable Aksharam Vak. Speech. So what is the first born of Ruta? It is speech. What is the form of that speech? It is of imperishable nature, but it is also one letter. And that is the articulated speech. And one letter, the first letter, which is called as imperishable Akshara, is none other than Om. So Om is the first manifestation of the imperishable. So therefore the manifestation also should be imperishable. So just as Rita is imperishable, Om is also imperishable, and this is imperishable because of Rita. So we will see what the meaning of Rita is. Second, so this Om, as I just mentioned, expands itself into the whole of the Veda. Akara started as Akara, Agnimi Ile Purohitam, and it became the whole of the Rigveda and ended with Yathavas Susahasati, and the Yajurveda took up in as Ishet Vorje and ended it as Samudraiva Bandhuhu. Then in U, it was the merger of the Jivatma Paramatma, and that is Sama. It becomes the Samaveda. So the Trayi Veda has, all this became from one single letter, one single imperishable entity called Akshara, who is the firstborn. So if it is firstborn, the firstborn's mother, if Ruta is the firstborn, who is the mother? The mother is Amritasya Nabhihi. Nabhi means navel. See what is the connection with the navel and mother? Because it is through the navel and the umbilical cord the child is nourished. And therefore the navel of this Amritasya of the immortal, Akshara and Amrita are synonymous, of the Amritasya of the immortal. There is the mother of the Veda. Who is the mother of the Veda? Mother of the Veda is truth, Satyam. So Satya or truth is another expression of the one which cannot be expressed but only known, Rita, is expressed as Satya through the Veda, and therefore Veda is the child of the mother Amrita. And it is also, the Veda is the very navel of Satya, or the very navel of Ruta. So what is the first thing that ever manifests? It is Ruta. And from this Ruta, how is it spoken of, expressed? Expression can be either verbal or it can also be through action. And both of them is, expression is through Satya. And when this is the combination of Ruta and Satya, what does it result in? It results in Sa. Sa means she, who, that Vak Devi. Sa Naha as Jushano Yajnam Agat. May she come to the yajna or the worship that we are actually performing. May she come for our prayers. So when you are doing the yajna based on Satya and Rita, that becomes dharma. So yajna is, don't misunderstand, it is a ritualistic yajna. Every act that we do which is based on Satya and Rita is all yajna. If you go to your work and then at work you dedicatedly, committedly you work, and then you show your loyalty as long as you are working for your employer, you are actually doing yajna. If you take care of your children, you are doing yajna. If you take care of your body, you are doing yajna. If you pay your taxes on time and properly, you are doing yajna. Because it is based on Satya and Rita, isn't it? But of course there is a caveat for that also. That is, you, as long as you are obeying the laws, then you are a praja or you are a good citizen. You are a citizen. But how does a citizen become a good citizen? How does a praja become a supraja? It is only when you obey those laws which are based on Satya and Dharma, then you are a supraja. For example, if in a land, a law is passed even by the parliament or by the legislature, and that becomes the law of the land. If that law of the land is not in accordance with the Satya and Rita, then you should not obey that. That's also another reason. Because you won't become a supraja then. And therefore you should know what is dharma and what is Satya even before you become a citizen. In the south they said that blacks cannot occupy the first 7 seats in the bus. Right? So the first 7 seats in the bus, Rosa Parks entered the bus in Montgomery, and then she sat on the 8th row. So by not sitting in the first 7 rows, she became a praja, because she was obeying the law. Then what happened? All the 7 seats were taken up by the whites. Then another white person came into the bus. So Rosa Parks was asked to vacate this 8th seat and go back. And that was unjust. And therefore she resisted. So she became supraja. The British imposed tax on salt. And therefore he became a supraja by boycotting the salt. And he marched to Dundee and then he made his own salt. He became a supraja. There's a very good, very important message that is given by this is, that is, while we obey all the law, as a citizen, I must be conscious whether that citizen is according to Satya or Dharma. Then it gives you a courage. And that courage is got by yajna. And then Avanti Devi Suhava Me Astu. Hey Devi, that Devi, Sa Vak Devi, Avanti, who protects us. Now, of course, Rosa Parks might have physically gone through many hardships. But the thing is, ultimately, what did this walk? That is, she said, I am not going to get out of this seat because it is an unjust law. And that Avanti, that walk, that speech, Avanti, it protected. And that's why we have today equal opportunity. That's same thing happened for the voting rights of women. Voting rights of women, denying voting rights for women in this country was an unjust law. It was against Smrita and Dharma. And therefore, when you oppose that, when you fight, and what it became a protection. And now you say, when you know what is Rita, when you know what is Satya, and when you perform the yajna, that Devi, Vagdevi, Avanti, she comes and protects. Avanti Devi, Suhava me astu, may she come and bless me for making it easy for me to invoke Satya, Rita and Dharma. She has to make my path smooth. So in other words, in this one beautiful mantra, we get a formula of the fourfold pillars of Vedic wisdom. There are only 4 pillars of Vedic wisdom: Rita, Satya, Dharma, Dharma/Yajna, and Bhakti. 4 pillars of Vedic wisdom is Rita, the cost. I'll come to that. That's why I just put it in the end what this Rita means. The word Rita comes from the Sanskrit root r. Gatau is a Sanskrit word. R. Gatau means straightforward. So that which is straightforward. So what is straightforward? Straightforward is the highest reality or the highest law, the natural law that controls the entire universe. That is Rita. That's why when we say that a person is treading the right royal path in his life, we say he is going in the Ruju Marga. Marga means path, Ruju means of Rita. So a straightforward, natural order of the inviolable natural order of the universe is called Rita. How to understand this? So let us say, is it possible for science to prevent the Shadvikara? What is Shadvikara? Many times we have talked about it. That is, a person is born, exists for a period of time, Jayate, asti, vardhate, grows, parinamate, changes, apakshiyati, decays, nashyati, dies. Can anybody change this law? A. Can anybody change the sequence of this law? All the efforts that we do to reverse aging and whatnot, is it possible to do? Absolutely impossible. Okay. And I don't think they will ever be able to do that. Can you stop the changing time? Can you stop morning, afternoon, evening, night? Can you reverse the sequence? Can you alter the sequence? Can you shuffle the sequence? It is the Rita. Can you make the wind stop blowing or nourishing the one who breathes in and out? You cannot. Can you stop the nourishing ability of food at all? An individual may not be able to tolerate, isn't it? But the foodness of the food, can you take it away? That is Rita. And therefore elsewhere the Mahanarana Upanishad calls it as Satyena Vayuravati Satyena Adityo Rochate Divi Satyam Vacha Pratishtha. So what does it mean? Satyena vayurabhati. It is because of Satya, wind blows. So wind blowing is the manifestation as Satya of the concept called Rita. That's how we have to understand. Isn't it? If the blowing of the wind was whimsical, if the nature of the wind blowing is whimsical, then it would not have been based on Rita. If the heat given out by fire can be changed into, let us say, the sapidity of water, can you take a flame and drink like you would drink water? Ever? Why is it? There are many other things science has been able to do, isn't it? It is because the fire, the heat and the light that a fire can give is based on Rita. And that Rita is Om. And in this mantra what we are saying is the understanding gained by the Shastra, by the knowledge of Rita, Satya, Dharma/Yajna and Bhakti, when you know all these four entities, then what happens? What is the consequence? The consequence is you know reality. The power of knowledge of reality is freedom from fear. Isn't it? Yes. Na bibheti kadachaneti. By the knowledge of this Rita, Satya, Dharma or Yajna, and by the knowledge of Bhakti, because we cannot be arrogant also by saying, I know what is Rita. Who knows what is Rita? It is unlimited knowledge. Who knows what is Dharma really? And that is why we have to codify things into law, isn't it? Then what is the experience of Rita? Experience of Dharma is possible, isn't it? What do I mean by that? The Ritu Dharma, that is Ritu Dharma, is the Dharma of the seasons. Summer is followed by fall, is followed by winter, is followed by spring, is the Dharma of the seasons, isn't it? Dharma of the seasons is experienceable because you live through those. So what do we see? We see the expression of the Rita through the Dharma in the cosmos. And I am part of the cosmos. And therefore, in me, how does Rita express itself? Has to be understood. That Rita expresses itself in you as intuition. Think about this. Why is it suddenly you get a flash of intuition and you discover what intuition you had was correct? Why is that? It is because Rita bypasses our buddhi and gives you that intuitive insight. Now, this intuitive insight which is available to everybody, nobody is singled out. Everybody it is available. But how to make it happen is the next question. Okay, what is the use of saying, yeah, intuitions happen, and in some intuitions you are able to get a flash of wisdom. But the thing is, it is so unpredictable. How can you make your intuition predictable is the next question. And that's the template this mantra gives. Rita expresses in you as intuition, provided you know Veda. Provided you know Veda. It's not enough if you know Veda. You should also put it into practice as dharma. It is not enough if you put it into practice as dharma, but you should also have the grace of Ishvara. Don't forget that. So we can reverse the process. Reverse the process by saying, I am a devotee of Ishvara. I am a bhakta. And as a devotee, what do you ask of Ishvara? This mantra teaches you. What do you ask of Ishvara? Because yesterday I was mentioning the same thing. Ishvara is the one who created me, and I have got a little cold. Ishvara is the one who created the virus. Whose side is he going to take? Isn't it? The virus will be praying to Ishvara as fervently as I am praying. Whose side is he going to take? See, this is how we overcome fear. This is how we overcome confusion. Then, if you view this in this way, then what happens? You are aligning yourself with Rita and Dharma. Isn't it? When you are aligning yourself with Rita and Dharma, all fear goes away. So that is why here, what is the Rishi saying? I know that behind my prayer, you are there as a protector. It did not say as my protector. It said you are protecting universally. What are you protecting universally? You are protecting Yajna. You are protecting Satya. You are protecting Rita. So therefore, my prayer here is so that I lead a straightforward life. That's all. Ultimately, it boils down to a simple formula: be absolutely open and straightforward. That's all. Then that Ishvara, in the form of Yajna, Satya and Rita, he will talk to us by our true intuition. And that intuition is an experience. In that experience, then what happens is that Devi, Vagdevi, manifests herself as the protector. This is why all this was in the mind of Krishna when he said, a person of wisdom, dukkhena kurunapi na vichalyate. However intense dukkha that we come across, a person is not shaken. And to get that unshakable wisdom and courage, this mantra was given to us. Let's do the Chaturvata. and of course, when they introduce the word Vedanam Mata, so we are also introducing in the concept of Vidya and Avidya. See, because Veda, the knowledge given by Veda is called Vidya. The knowledge we get from the sciences is called Avidya.
Avidya means ignorance.
Avidya doesn't mean ignorance. It means anything that keeps changing. Or any knowledge that can be improved upon. Or any knowledge which is bound by time and space. Because everything is contextual, isn't it? So context, when you remove the contextuality and it does not affect an idea, then it is vidya. Atma nityaha. It is eternal. When you say Atma nityaha, it is the Atman is eternal. What does it mean? It is unaffected by time and space. Isn't it? And it is not affected by the 6 changes that we talked about, the Shadvikaras. And therefore, whatever has got Shadvikaras is Anatma. So the knowledge about Anatma is Avidya. The knowledge about Atma is Vidya.
Satya Jnanam is...
Yes, that's all.
Vidya?
In very simple...
Mithya Jnanam?
Yes.
Vidya.
In
Whatever
simple
is
terms.
Mithya, you tell me what is Satya.
Yes.
Everything that's not Satya is Mithya.
In fact, we can also go to the extent of saying whatever is measurable is Avidya. Whatever is measurable.
Measure.
Whatever is measurable is Avidya. That's why the only definition we can give for Atman or Brahman is Anirvachaniyam, that which cannot be measured, that which cannot be parsed. Aprameyam. Prama means to know. Prameya means to measure. Aprameyam. So anything that you can measure, know that it is avidya. So therefore what happens? Avidya, that is whatever is measurable, has got changes. That knowledge is important. Because avidyaya mrityuntirtva vidyaya samashrute ishavasya. It's only by the knowledge of avidya you can understand what vidya is. Because now you say, is this measurable? Yes, so it is avidya. Is this measurable? So it is avidya. Atman, Brahman, is it measurable? When you say Brahman, it comes from the root br, means to expand. And therefore, it is immeasurable. Like that you get clarity. Clarity is called vidya. So when you have that clarity, then what happens? You are aligned and in tune with Satya and Dharma. And therefore, the person who is in tune with that has no agenda to violate the rule of Vrata. So he performs yajna. And when he performs yajna, Avanti Devi, that Devi will come and protect me. So much. So the whole Dharma Shastra is embedded in this one mantra. So it's a lovely, it's an extraordinary, Vak Sukta is an extraordinary sukta.